Hi, it's Tuesday evening. I still have a fart machine. I went into clinic today and they were like, wow, it's doing great. But it's not done yet. Like, we'll book you a skin graft for maybe next week. So I'm back on the vacuum dressing. I'm hoping it's on right because it's been a bit burny, which I don't think is a good sign, but I'll chat with the nurse about it tomorrow. So, book updates. I finished 2 things today so far. I'm gonna try and finish another one before I go to bed, but we'll see. I finished Ring Shout by Puglia Clark. This is I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was really, really interesting. It's a novella looking at like Afrofuturism, Afro-fantasy, set in America, where like hate is embodied in these evil creatures. So they call these like monsters Ku Kluxes, and they like are attacking black people, but like it's very fantasy dark. I thought it was so good. It was really interesting. The audiobook was super well narrated, which I think really contributed to my rating, and I just thought it was so well constructed. I don't know, I really, really liked it. It's very hard to describe, but I really liked it and I would definitely recommend it. And then I just finished The Project by Courtney Summers, which is about a girl whose sister joined a cult and she's kind of like going in to try and figure out what's going on. Some people didn't like this. I personally really, really enjoyed it, and I think most people struggled with the ending, but I liked the ending just as much as I liked the ending of Sadie. So I don't know where people were at, but I really, really enjoyed this. It's super dark and probably doesn't take the arc that people expect, but it definitely leaves things open. But I personally really enjoyed it, and I'm going to try and pick up more by Courtney Summers because I think she's amazing. I need to go into her back catalogue. But yeah, this destroyed me a little bit. I just finished listening to it. I was reading along while listening, and I don't know, it was so good. It was so good. It was so good. I also listened to half of She's Too Pretty to Burn by Wendy Hurd today on audiobook. I'm enjoying this, but like at a like 3.5 4-star level. It's like a Dorian Gray retelling, but kind of loosely. I'm interested to see how it continues to develop into the second half of the book, but it's following a sapphic couple who are they're both high schoolers, I think, but it might be over summer because they don't talk about school. Yes, and one's a lifeguard, so yeah, that makes sense. Who's deathly afraid of having a photo taken for some reason, and then her new girlfriend who is a photographer, and things are happening. It's chaos. I'm really, really enjoying it so far, but not like a 5-star level. Please appreciate what is happening here. Apparently the cat wants attention. What I'm going to try and finish tonight before I go to bed is The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I'm currently on page 100, so there's like 200 pages left. So we'll see how it goes, like how fast paced I move through it. It could happen, could be a tomorrow morning situation. I've kind of given up on all my like goals for the week, and we're just gonna see what comes. We'll see what happens as it comes. I finished Shadow and Bone last night. I loved it to pieces. Do think they could have just not even brought in that Alina was half true. She could have just been Asian looking, Russian inspired. It would have been fine, but instead they did that. But whatever, that's the only flaw that I think it has. I also love David. I was staring at him like, why is your face so familiar? And then I remembered that he played Jason. Oh, well, I didn't remember. I had to look it up. He plays Jason in Miranda. That's how I knew him. I was like, why is your face so familiar? Luke Pasquale, I think his name is. Yeah, he played Jason in Miranda. He was also in Skins, but like I haven't seen Skins. But yeah, so my goal for the rest of the week after this, I don't think it'll actually happen, but I'm definitely gonna read A Curse of Roses. And then if I get through that, I'll also try and read. I gave up on the idea of the Infinity Courts because it was chunky, but I could read Tales from the Hinterland, which is short, or Bridge of Souls, which is short. We'll just see what I get through, but definitely A Curse of Roses will be read, and we'll see where we go from there. But that's my current plan. Thank you for watching. I will update you tomorrow. I need to edit last week's vlog tomorrow because I'm getting a bit late on that one, but oh well. I should finish She's Too Pretty to Burn tomorrow, which means I can start The Death of Vivek OG. Kinda tempted to also listen to the Shadow and Bone audiobook, but just because I'm currently obsessed, but I probably shouldn't. I just want to. You feel. We'll see. Anyway, I'll talk to you later. Last night, I forgot to update you, but I finished The Midnight Library. I really liked it. I gave it 5 stars. Obviously today's Thursday. It's like lunchtime. I gave it 5 stars. I thought it was really, really good. It paced really well. It was really sad, but really like touching and emotional. I don't know how to describe it well, but I really, really enjoyed it. I didn't finish She's Too Pretty to Burn yesterday, even though I'd planned to, but I kind of got distracted with other work stuff, so I didn't really do much of my work stuff that I can listen to an audiobook with. But I did. I'm still really enjoying that, and I'm going to finish it today. Is my plan, and then start The Death of Vivek OG and finish that tomorrow. I was going to start A Curse of Roses last night and I didn't finish it, but I've decided Curse of Roses will be the last thing I try and read this month. I'll be able to finish it tomorrow for sure. But I was scrapping everything else, partly because I'm never going to get to anything else. I'm getting further and further behind. Hi, Mika. And partly because, Mika, why are you just wanting to bite me today? I was gonna say, I'm never gonna get it done, but also, what if Taylor Swift announces Woodvale tonight? What am I gonna do then? So, like, I'm so on the fence about the next Taylor Swift album. I'm like, could be tomorrow, or it could not. Like, it might not exist. Like, that's fine. But I wouldn't be surprised. But I like. She doesn't have to either. Like, I'm not like, give me the next one, but also like, I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. You feel. So I'm going to jump back into work listening to the audiobook. And I'll update you. I'll keep you updated. Jesse currently went back into the emergency room today because his blood pressure had dropped. His heart rate had skyrocketed and he was looking very pasty, so his GP was like, no, you must go to the emergency room, have fun. So he's doing that, but yay. Hopefully it will all pan out fine. But and I might also film, the thing is, like, I feel so blasé about Jesse going to hospital now and he's there on his own, he'll be fine. I'll probably also film my haul this afternoon, so yeah, that's also fun. Woo! Hi, it's Friday. I forgot to update you last night. Or why do I always forget to update tonight? But anyway, I did finish She's Too Pretty to Burn yesterday, but it was a stretch. Like, I was finishing it as I was going to bed. That ending destroyed me. I was so, like, on edge. This book is technically a YA thriller, but I feel like it's one of those thrillers that, like, I know it's kind of a thing in YA thrillers where a large portion of it just reads like a contemporary and then it gets darker and darker and darker. It's one of those kinds. I personally enjoyed my time reading it. Had a good time. And I thought the audiobook was pretty well done. I ended up giving it a 4 stars. I was impressed. I also attempted to start A Curse of Roses last night by Diana Pinguisha. And unfortunately I DNF'd and I'm really sad about it. I might go back to it at some point. I'm not settled. But I was really struggling with the way it was written and the way it was paced. Like, I felt really disengaged with the narrative and I just couldn't really get behind it. So I decided to DNF it. I didn't want to push myself through it. I read about 65 pages and I was struggling the whole time. So I ended up putting that aside I'll wrap it up, DNF it, stick it on my whole pile loosely, and then if I get the urge to come back to it, I might put it back on my TBR. We'll see. But I was struggling with it. I think other people will really like it, and I know other people have really liked it, so it's a me thing for sure. But I was just not gelling with it for some reason. The plotting and pacing was just not working for me, and I need to give myself permission to DNF more things just because things aren't working, not because I actually don't enjoy a component, just because things aren't quite working out. I don't need to push myself through that, so I took that initiative, and I DNF'd it. It is a queer sapphic romantic fantasy if you were interested, because I think people will really like it, but it just wasn't working for me. I'm going to start from there, my May TBR, since it's the last day of April, other than the audiobook I'm currently listening to, which is the last thing on my April TBR that I'm going to actually get to, and that's The Death of Vivek Oji by Kweke Emezi. I'm listening to that now. I've got about 6 hours left, I think, in full time, so like 3 hours of half time, so I should be fine to get that done today. My next physical read that I'm going to pick up today is The Wren Hunt by Mary Watson, which I'm going to be co-reading with This Beast, which is XX, a novel graphic by Ryan Hughes. I can't remember how it's pronounced. Does it even have it written here? I'm going to say Ryan. It does not have it written here. But I'm not going to start this today because I'm buddy reading it with KJ from The Bookish KJ. And we're going to be reading 200 pages each day over the weekend, so I don't want to get ahead, if that makes sense. And so I'll start that tomorrow, but this Chunky Bee is going to be tomorrow's thing, which I'll be co-reading along with The Wren Hunt and then Kingdom of Souls. So I'm going to start The Wren Hunt tonight and see how far through I get. But I'm not stressing about it. I'm just gonna read. Tomorrow will be for stressing about this bitch. But yeah. So I'm listening to my audiobook, doing work. I will update you when I finish Death of Vivek Oji, and I'll tell you all about it. The next audiobook, I think I'm gonna listen to Shadow and Bone, because since watching the TV show, I'm really itching for it. So I think I'm gonna take a little break from my originally scheduled May TBR. There's space in my TBR to fit another audiobook, so I'm gonna pick up Shadow and Bone, and then if I'm really enjoying the vibes and I want to keep going with it, I'm gonna have to read some other audiobooks before I can come back to it. So though my current thought is I might do Shadow and Bone, Six of Crows, the second one, Siege and Storm, Kuroki Kingdom, Ruin and Rising, then maybe reread King of Scars and Rule of Wolves on audiobook. Maybe. We'll see how I'm feeling, but like I'm taking this all very low key, so we'll just kind of like rereading as the vibes come. Obviously I only read Rule of Wolves this month, but like I could reread it on audiobook in like a couple of months. Did this pimple just pop? I think it did. Yeah, I've ordered dumplings for lunch. I did have leftover pasta I could have eaten, but I don't want it. I want dumplings. Hey, I finished The Death of Vivek Oji. Just in time, I guess, because it's almost end of the month, but like in a couple of hours. But I really liked it. Like I liked it a lot. It was very sad and very dark. We follow the main character who's, I say the main character, Vivek Oji, the titular character, dies right at the start, obviously. And we're kind of following the different people who knew him as we explore what happened shortly before his death and leading up to his death and things like that. It's so good. It's so beautiful. I loved it to pieces. I really had a beautiful time with it. The audiobook was also really, really well done, and I would recommend the audiobook. Sorry, my cat is wanting to headbutt the camera. Yeah, I thought it was just so good. Miss, what's happening? I I'll talk about it more in my wrap up, because like my actual wrap up, which will be coming out soon, because it'll probably is out before this video actually, and around the same time. Because I definitely know how to talk about it in a concise way, but maybe when I sleep on it, I'll have a better idea. I have a bit of a headache going on. Hanging in back here, I've just taken some painkillers, but I've started The Wren Hunt by Mary Watson, which is one of the 2 books on my Bookopoly deal TBR for the month of May. I'm 12 pages in. I really am very confused. I don't know what to think. This is giving very strange vibes. Like, I don't know what's happening. If I figure it out, I'll talk to you about it. But it's very strange so far. We're following a girl whose name is Wren. And on St. Stephen's Day, so like Boxing Day, that's St. Stephen's Day, right? In their part of Ireland, they chase the wrens on St. Stephen's Day through the night. And the main character's name is Wren, and these boys like chase her instead of the bird. But there's some kind of magic element, and I don't really know how the magical element works, but all of this, like the boys just chasing her just because her name's Wren, feels very kind of rapey. I'm not sure what I feel about it. We'll see, but we'll see where it goes. If it stays dark and violent and doesn't try and romanticize anything, I could really like it, but I'm suspicious. We'll see. We'll see. Hi. Good morning. I mean, it's lunchtime now. I meant to update you earlier, but it's Saturday. Miss Mika has started her first heat, so we've been dealing with that today. Big girl. So that's happening. But last night I ended up reading 100 pages of The Wren Hunt. I kind of settled into it once the plot got going. I feel like I'm understanding what's going on a little bit more. I'm not sure if I'm loving it, but I'm like progressing. And then this morning, because I don't know why I did this to myself, but for Booknetathon, one of my core prompts to get a bingo that I'm working on is for Maddie from Book Browsing Blog, and I'm reading XX. There it is. For that, I'm currently, have a page number here, 62. Page 62. I'm aiming to get to 200 pages today. Buddy reading it with KJ. And I was like on the fence about whether or not I would love this. I forgot it was a first contact with alien story, so there's that. But I am loving it. I'm always like, I love mixed media things, but like I like it in theory, and I always am like, oh god, what if I don't like the content and I'm just here for the mixed media? No, this is fucking good. The prose is really interesting and interestingly told, and everything's just so cool. I'm really enjoying it. I'm gonna get to the 200 pages this afternoon as quickly as possible, and then dive back into this, and I'm hoping to get at least 150 pages through this, but if we could get even further, that would be swell. But that's the temporary goal. But I'm gonna keep updating you with thoughts on XX, because I feel like next week I'm gonna be reading it the whole week, but I feel like you can read it along with me to a degree. I've put in one sticky tab because I'm not a tabber by nature, but this page had a random dot on it that I hadn't seen before, and I went back and checked, there wasn't another page with it. So I don't know what kind of meaning it actually has, but like, look at this random, oh, it's not going to focus that. Can you see that there, that random little dot under the word drug? I'm keeping an eye out for more of them, but that's the first one I found so far. I've marked it with a tabby. We'll see if it ends up meaning anything. But you can't put a random dot somewhere on a book like this and I'm gonna tab it. And it better mean something. Anyway, I gotta go charge my camera battery, but I'm working on this. I'll keep you updated. Alright, so it is now evening. I meant to update you earlier, but my camera battery was still charging, and I was just like, nah, I'll put that off. I also put off getting washing out of the dryer, putting the washing in the dryer, even though it's in the washing machine. And now it's too late and I can't bother doing it, and I don't want to. So we're gonna do that tomorrow. It's not even that late, but like my brain is switched off, you know. But I finished today's 200 pages of XX, the Beast, that is as big as my head. I'm switching this light off because the lighting's shit. I have finished it. I'm not in focus. So yeah, I finished the 200 pages. It kind of actually aligned up pretty well with a kind of reveal of sorts, which is cool. This is fucking nuts. I would akin it kind of, I think, to maybe kind of like House of Leaves to an extent, just where I remembered I needed to update this because I was watching Gavin's House of Leaves vlogs from the other day. Like, it has that sense of like exploration that especially the like stuff that happens in the house in House of Leaves has. But this is a first contact with aliens story told in mixed media, if I didn't explain that already. It's called XX, a novel graphic by Ryan Hughes, and it is all in mixed media. It's probably a bit hard to show you, but like there is some prose, but a lot of it is mixed media. And it is a first contact with aliens story, which I enjoy. I love anything mixed media. It tends to be a hit with me. Like, I loved S, I loved House of Leaves. When I was a kid, I read the series. They are actually still on my shelf because I love them that much. The first one was called Codename Jericho. And they're also told in mixed media. They're so cool. I kind of want to reread them really badly. They're like I don't know how to find what I'm talking about. I'm looking at Goodreads. I could literally walk over there and get it, but I can't be bothered. But they were told in mixed media. Love them. I loved Bats of the Republic, which I read end of last year. Like, I find mixed media so fascinating and well done in almost all cases because so much time is dedicated to it. And this is so far not an exception to the rule. Like, I'm really enjoying this. I know it's literally huge and I have one tab in, and that's because there was a random dot on the page. I haven't seen another one since, so I'm keeping an eye on it. And I'll continue to tab if I find more, but it looks too deliberate to be not meaningful, but I don't know what it means. I'm picking at spots on my face. I should really put some stickers on. But so basically, right at the start of the book, a group of characters that kind of work for NASA equivalent, I think, discover what they're calling the signal, which is like obviously like a signal from space. And they're like, it's aliens, it's aliens. And he contacts a friend of his who is autistic, and his kind of like thing is seeing patterns and things to a point that like it's kind of sending him insane. And he's seeing patterns, and his whole job and theory is that consciousness and self-consciousness is a unit that can understand the difference between self and not self. Like, it's just information coming in and out and being processed and pattern recognition, but it's consciousness because there is a sense of self and not self. So like encased in a thing, you feel? So that's the difference between like data on the internet and an algorithm and a human. So his theory is that if you built an encasement, be it physical or virtual, for a thing, it will be conscious. And he's seeing all these signs and patterns of something trying to talk to him and telling him to build it a body. So there's that happening. There's this signal from space, which he thinks might be what's talking to him. But he also thinks that he's been hearing these messages for a lot longer than since the signal was received. And then there's also some clips about something happening on the moon. And obviously I'm like 200 pages in of a like 1,000-page book, so I don't really have much more Like there's so much further this can go and so much breadth left to discover, but that's kind of where I'm at. And I don't know, it's really good. All the perspectives are really well constructed and interesting, and the way the mixed media is incorporated is so well done. I'm having a blast. I got to my 200 page stopping point, and I've literally been struggling to pick up my other book, The Wren Hunt, because like I'd rather be reading it, but I'm buddy reading with KJ, so I'm going to work on The Wren Hunt. I'm doing it, I'm committing, but it is really good. Like I think I could binge it in 3 days if that was the way I was doing it, because I could have easily read 300 pages today, or maybe even more. It was so absorbing. It was like sucked in. There was a bit that had an album. I listened to 90% of the album. It was also fucking weird, but very immersive. And I'm just loving it. I'm gonna settle in now and work on this. I want to get to page like 300 if I can. But yeah. Yeah. I gotta clean these glasses. They are so foggy. Also, I got these tightened and they're already feeling loose again. I don't know what's going on. Yes, I'm going to be working on The Wren Hunt. It's also freaking weird, but in a totally different way. And I'll talk more about it as I get further in it, because I don't really know how to talk about it currently. It is Sunday. I'm chilling now, reading XX again. I'm on page 262. I realized the other thing that it reminds me of that I was trying to figure out yesterday is An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. Strong and Absolutely Remarkable Thing vibes. Like I feel like they sit in the same vague genre of sci-fi, because there's a sense of contact with aliens, but also a sense of like the internet and media and idea and thought, which plays a big role in this, that is very akin to An Absolutely Remarkable Thing, which I really enjoy. So I am loving it still. I don't know if I'm going to have time to read it tomorrow, because obviously I don't know if I mentioned this, but I'm meant to be having surgery tomorrow. It may get cancelled. Unclear. It's also meant to be a day procedure, but I might end up staying overnight. And my thought is, this chunker is too big to take with me to hospital, really. So I will take with me something else, probably Kingdom of Souls, which is what I will be reading after The Wren Hunt. So probably starting tonight or tomorrow. I'll take with me this. And if I get home in time, like if I'm actually allowed to leave tomorrow, I will read tomorrow's 100 pages of XX when I get home. But otherwise, I'll try and catch up later in the week and work on Kingdom of Souls instead. I might also take my iPad, because I'll probably be bored out of my brain in the hospital if I end up having to stay the night. If my surgery's in the morning, like that's a whole afternoon and an evening, and then the next day, because I never get discharged early. So I might even actually take the next book that I would read as well. Me thinking and planning ahead. But I won't be able to start my vlog on time, so I'll wrap up the vlog tonight and start my next vlog whenever I'm out of hospital, I think. But yeah, so I'm working on this now. I'm gonna get to the 400 page mark, and then yeah, I feel like it's going quicker this time. I don't know whether it's about the style has gone to more mixed media than prose, but I feel like this 60 pages I've read went by really fast. And hopefully we'll get to the 400 pretty fast. KJ she was behind, but I feel like she'll get through faster than she thinks, so I believe in her. Very disturbed. We'll see how we go. But like in the most enjoyable way possible. I should be filming my wrap up today, but I really don't want to, so I might put it off till after I'm back out from surgery and just film and upload it late. I will edit my haul today though and upload it. But I think I'll put my wrap up off till I'm home from surgery. So I just really don't feel like doing it today. Just really don't. Hi, we're just gonna quickly wrap up this vlog. It is actually a couple of days later. It's Tuesday midday. I had my surgery yesterday. I was meant to finalize this with you either Monday morning or Sunday night, and I didn't. I didn't even finish The Wren Hunt. I'm still working on it. I got pretty close. Didn't touch it yesterday. I also didn't touch XX yesterday, so this is where we got to Sunday for XX. So 400 pages in. I'm actually pretty impressed. I'm still really enjoying it to pieces. KJ's not loving it, but KJ's not a sci-fi person, so I feel like that's alright. But that's where we're at. I don't really have much to update you on. I'm gonna start the next vlog in a minute, but here we are. It's cold today. I'm rugged up. I also have to have my leg elevated, so we're in this position. I'm about to film my wrap up from this position, so enjoy. I feel like I'm like, it's looking up at me, so it's not normal, but we're gonna roll with it. But thank you so much for watching this probably pretty shitty vlog. I will be reading 4-book Netathon in the next vlog, and kind of doubling down on that, and you'll definitely see me finish XX in the next vlog, so keep that in mind. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you soon with another video where I probably talk about how surgery went and stuff. Yeah, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye.